Hey, welcome back to the shop for part 2 of what I thought was going to be a one-part series on taming a wild dog. Puppy, moose, sit. Good boy. Yeah, on part 2 of what I thought was going to be a one-part series on restoring this, Wilton bullet vise. Where I left it off yesterday was the discovery that what I'm going to call the shaft of this moving jaw is bent. It's straight up until the last sort of 1.5 inches, where there's a gap of about 1/8 inch. So I'm going to have to straighten this if I want to get this guy working again. I thought about going to Harbour Freight, it's about an hour's drive away, and getting a shop press. That would have been about $200, probably another $100 worth of random crap that I'd buy at Harbour Freight and an hour back, and I wasn't even sure if it was going to work. So I figured I might try using a bottle jack that I have lying around. The concern that I have is this is relatively thin walled. I'd say it's 1/4 inch. I'm concerned that if I was using a shop press, I'd support it here and here and press down here. I'm concerned that it would deform the tube. I have the same concern with the bottle jack. So what I think I'm going to try and do is have it in here and press up from the bottom and use the tube that it fits into to sort of hold it in shape a little bit and just make sure the force is pushing up that way. So I'm going to have to work out how to hold this guy down while I push up from here. I've got plenty of random bits of wood around, so I should be able to work that out. Now, in a previous video, when I was repairing the brush hog, I got a comment where I was called a meathead for the way I was going about doing that repair. Turned out the guy had a lot of really good points, and we had some civil discourse, and it was really nice. So, for fear of getting called a meathead again, I want to walk you through this setup. The first thing we have here is our power unit. This is a 7-ton bottle jack. While it may look like it comes from completely unknown provenance, it came from the same estate sale where I got that surgical dental lamp. It's 7 tons, looks like it'll work. This here, these main sort of elements in compression here, this is Doug fir. It's a wood commonly used here in the Pacific Northwest. If you're not familiar with it, think of it as lignum vitae. It's a very hard, solid wood. In compression like it is on this stack here, it should be fine. A little bit concerned about the shearing and the levering around there. Then what's holding the vise down is a ratchet strap. Take extra note that this is camouflage ratchet strap. Camouflage is definitely a lot stronger than the other colors. It's just, the intermixing of the colors really helps with that strength. And I've wrapped it around 3 times. Oh, look here. Weight, working load limit, 500 pounds. Wrapped around 3 times, let's call that 1,500 pounds. Yeah, there's some pretty tight angles around here, but yeah, it'll be fine. 1,500 pounds, 7-ton press. Wood. I'm probably going to put on some safety glasses. While I go get those, I'll give you all a moment to comment down below which part you think is going to break first. Is it going to be the ratchet strap? Is it going to be the wood? Is it going to be my pants? Have a think while I go get some glasses. Going, going. So that was pretty sketchy. The ratchet straps weren't really strong enough to hold it down. Had some chains in the back of the truck, and I thought of maybe using those to cinch it down, but that would have been sketchy in other ways. So I've driven out to the Harbour Freight I have a 20 ton press in the back of the truck. Be back in the shop in about an hour and see if this works. See you then. I have a Harbor Freight shop press. It is assembled. It is about as rigid as you'd expect from Harbor Freight, but hopefully this will do the job. I just made a little pushy piece. I don't know what you want to call that thing, so it can push down, because otherwise the jaw would interfere here. I guess there ain't nothing to it but to do it. I'll get a little bit of pressure on here, make sure everything is lined up, and see how we go. All right, it is under pressure. Take these off so I can actually see. If we're straight in both directions. Guess it looks straight. I'll stand out of your way and hopefully out of the way of explosions. Yeah, I think the way I'm judging it is, you probably can't see it with the camera, maybe you can. There's a little bit of light on the back there. If I can get that gap to close up, I think that'll be a sign of progress. That gap's, oh wow. Yeah, interesting. The key is pushing out at the front. I'm just going to let this sit for a second and take it out and see how it looks. It appears the pressing has done a really good job. In fact, I think it's done too good of a job. It's bent it a little bit the other way. It's probably going to be hard for you to see here, but there used to be an 1/8 inch gap up in this section. It's now flattened off. Another issue that happened while it was being pressed is this key down the bottom pushed out a little bit. I used a C-clamp to push that in. Rather than taking it back to the press and trying to press it back a little bit the other way, because I think I overbent it, it was so close. All I've been doing is just sort of first with a hammer and now just by hand, working it back and forth inside the body. And still requires a little bit of effort to open it and close it completely, but it's working. Once the handle is on and this thing has worked back and forth a few more times, this will be in really good condition. So I'm really happy that I've got this moving jaw straightened or straight enough, and that means I can get on to the next few steps. So obviously there's a lot more rust removal to do. The next sort of mechanical job, I guess, is this collar here, which attaches the handle to the moving jaw. It slips over like this and provides the mechanical attachment. Like that. It has 3 screws, 2 of which did not come out cleanly, either before or after working on the rust. I've got to clean these out. I'll try using a left-handed screw, drill bits and pull them out. But anyway, that's the next challenge. But I'm glad that I've got the moving jaw moving, and so onwards and upwards.